Welcome to this DT Guru revision video. In today's video we're going to be taking a quick look at the difference between the first angle and the third angle orthographic drawing symbols and an easy way to remember their differences. If you want to find out more about these two different types of drawing and how they're laid out, please look at my next video which will break that down in detail. Now, one thing we have to remember these symbols, okay, there are three components to both of these symbols. Even though they're laid out differently, we have a shape, we have a gap, we have a shape. So first comes a shape, second comes a gap, third comes a shape. So in this case, first comes your parallelogram, your trapezium. Second comes a gap, third comes your circles. And in this case, first comes the circles, second comes the gap, and third comes your trapezium. Now, what we have to remember here, first angle. Okay, so if we look at the first angle symbol, the shape with the angles, which is the trapezium, okay, imagine they're not right angles, so we've got internal angles. What comes first is the shape with the angles. Okay, so if we're looking at that, that's the first thing that comes up. So we start by drawing the shape with the angles, which is the trapezium. In third angles, look, what comes third? It's the shape with the angles. Yeah? So that's the easy way to remember it. Remembering the gap, that's a nice simple way to remember the difference. So make sure you remember that and practice that for your exam. Now in terms of drawing these two symbols, okay, you may be asked to draw or you may be asked to sketch. Now, what I always like to do is start by drawing the trapezium, whichever type of drawing I decide to do, whether it's the first or the third angle. Okay, making sure that we have a longer line on the right and a shorter line on the left. Okay, so we've got our trapezium drawn. Then what we do for that trapezium is we draw a center line through the middle of it. Now, if you've done your revision, you'll know that a center line is a long line and a short line, long line, short line. Okay, now this is a sketch. You may be asked to draw it. If you're asked to draw it, please use a ruler and do it accurately. Now the thing we have to remember with these symbols, okay, the reason we have these two lines is because they actually represent the diameter of the circle. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make sure that my outer circle, its diameter is approximately the same as the longer line in the trapezium, and the smaller circle, you can even add some projection lines if that helps you to draw the symbol or sketch it. Okay, there we have it. Now, don't forget also you're going to need center lines through these. Okay, and if this was in the exam, what they're generally looking for is that this line is the same as the larger diameter, and this line is the same as the smaller diameter. The fact that this is drawn the right way round and you have the smaller line on the left and the longer line on the right, and that you include your center lines. If you can do that, you should be okay. Now with regards to the third angle, okay, the third angle is exactly the same procedure. And what I tend to do for the third angle is draw the first trapezium, just like we did before, no difference whatsoever, okay? The process is identical. Larger line on the right, smaller line on the left, okay? We do again exactly the same. We do the center line, but we do it protruding to the left-hand side this time round. And then we draw the circle to the left, because remember the circle comes first, the trapezium comes third, because this is third angle. So what I'm going to do, sketch in my circle, add my center lines, and there you have it. Now, if you're asked in the exam to do this, and they ask you to do it with, they ask you to draw it rather than sketch it, obviously this is going to require a compass, and this is going to require a ruler. Please make sure you do it accurately, and remember that difference between draw and sketch throughout the whole exam. Take that very carefully. Okay, best of luck with your first and third angle symbols, and don't forget, first we have the trapezium, which has got the angles in it. Second, we have a gap. Third, we've got a circle. So this one, the trapezium comes first because it contains the angles. In this particular instance, what comes third is the trapezium because it contains the angles. Okay, that's the easiest way to remember it, and the easiest way you're going to make progress in this particular question in the exam. Best of luck.